You're listening to The David Knight Show.
Welcome back. There's an article on Breitbart from an interview that they did with Jessica Vaughn. She is Director of Policy Studies at the Center for Immigration Studies. And as I was looking at these 7 reasons, the title of the article is Jessica Vaughn, 7 Steps that Trump Can Take to Solve the Border Crisis. I agree that all of them would be helpful, but none of them go far enough. And they kind of missed the mark. Like I was saying, the number 1 policy she's got here of the 7 is to take on remittances. Talking about the people who are working here, who are here illegally, working here and sending money back to Mexico. She said, stop that. Well, I say it's even more important to stop incentivizing people to come here and not work and get remittances from the welfare state in America. Let's stop welfare for foreign citizens. Let's take a look at the next one here. Force Mexico to sign a safe third country agreement. And here again is another one of these ideas that we have to depend on Mexico and El Salvador and Honduras and all these people to protect our vital interests. We don't do that with defense. We don't say, let's force Germany to protect us from Russia. We never did that with NATO or France. We would never say that with France. But, we don't depend on foreign countries to defend us militarily, do we? So why are we depending on foreign countries and the Democrats to defend our borders? They're not going to do it. News flash after 2 years. Of course, we all knew this going in, that Mexico was not going to defend our borders. None of these countries are. We are defending them from instability because they are unwilling or unable to pay for their own citizens' education or welfare, or to have an economy because they have such a corrupt government or a socialist government or whatever. So we are their pressure relief valve. They're not going to do anything to close that and increase pressure in their country. They are not going to help us. Newsflash, we're going to have to do it ourselves. And it is a vital existential issue. It is far more important to protect our borders than it is to get involved in any of these foreign wars of regime change. Forget about Venezuela and sending troops down there. Send troops to our border to protect America, President Trump. Stop the nonsense with Syria. We just had more people die in Afghanistan. Libya is collapsing again. After all of our intervention there, we don't know what we're doing in foreign countries. Do we even have the understanding and the will to protect America? Perhaps not. Perhaps not. Perhaps the Defense Department should get its old name back, the Department of War. We should call it the Department of Foreign Wars because we cannot use the Defense Department to defend America. That's what we're constantly told. And so then that brings us to number 3. The Center for Immigration Studies policy official says that we got to hire officials who are unafraid of the left-wing media. Well, I think we've got to hire officials who are unafraid of left-wing judges, even more importantly, because they're the ones shutting it down. Yes, President Trump is intimidated by the New York Times and Washington Post and what they have to say. As Breitbart said in October 2018, this person interviewing Jessica Vaughn said, the president's going to have to do what's necessary and not worry about what the New York Times thinks. Well, here's another news flash. The president's going to have to do what's necessary and not worry about what Nancy Pelosi thinks. The president's going to have to do what's necessary and not have to say, well, we got to get the Democrats to help me on this. No, you don't. You have authority as president, and you had authority as president day one. Some of this you signed away for Nancy Pelosi. You gave veto power to local communities if they don't want the wall going through there. You signed away the ability to hold people that are coming in detention centers until you could vet that the kids are even theirs. You signed that away with Nancy Pelosi. But President Trump, you've also got to not be afraid of a single federal judge and let them veto any and every policy that you have to protect this country. So you have to not be afraid of the media, but more importantly, not afraid of the judges and not afraid to refer to your power under the Constitution to protect this country and not afraid to use the military to defend America. What an idea. Number 4, she said, make E-Verify mandatory for employers. I totally disagree with E-Verify. Totally disagree with this. I totally reject the idea that I have to be vetted by the federal government if I want to have a job. I reject the idea that work in America is a privilege, and they're not just going to be doing E-Verify for people that they think are foreign citizens. They're going to be doing it for Americans. And if somebody is willing to violate the law to come into this country, if somebody wants cheap labor badly enough that they will hire people who are here illegally, do you think that they're going to find a way around the E-Verify system? That E-Verify system is just going to be for you. The mark of the beast for you, American citizens. This is nothing but an exchange of our liberty, turning our ability to work from a right to a privilege and doing it so they can protect employers. Because if they were to say to employers, if you hire illegal, this is currently the law. And we have raids from time to time where you see employers whose business model is to get cheap foreign labor that are here illegally, because they can also blackmail these people. They can say, well, you're going to work for this amount of money or we'll turn you in. We're going to pay you less than we pay Americans. We don't have to pay all the taxes that we pay for Americans. We don't have to do these other work safety operations. And if you complain about anything, you're gone because you're not here illegally. So they can blackmail these people. Now, we should be shutting employers like that down. We should have a situation where if people have concern about that, if the immigration control people have a concern about that, the employer has to defend these people. They know that they're American citizens. But you're making this, instead of punishing criminal behavior, you are punishing, when you put out the E-Verify system, you're punishing people who are innocent. You have to prove that you're innocent to get a job. You have to take the right of work away from us and turn it into a privilege. Why? So they can protect the employers, because the employers can say, well, I turned the number into the system and I don't have any liability anymore. Number 5, stop issuing work permits to migrants who have pending asylum applications. Okay, well, again, it's focusing on the work side, always punishing the people who are here working. And I don't have as much of a problem with the people who are here working as I do with the people here on welfare. So stop giving permits for food stamps to people from foreign countries who come here. Stop giving college tuition breaks. You know, if you come here from a foreign country, you can get in-state college tuition at any state. But an American can only get in-state college tuition at the state that they actually have lived in. Stop those kind of advantages. Again, the welfare system. Focus on that. Why have we got conservatives who are so blind to this massive welfare system that we've opened up for the entire world? We can't afford a welfare system like we have created here as part of the New Deal. The old New Deal, the Red New Deal, now we got the Green New Deal. Well, the original communist New Deal that FDR gave us, the red one, that's going to bankrupt us. It is bankrupting us. Slowly, but now, gradually at first and now rapidly, along with our uncontrolled warfare state. So let's stop the welfare state. Let's use the military to protect the border. Let's stop welfare for the entire world. We can't afford welfare at the levels we got it for American citizens, let alone the entire world. And now the Democrats want to ramp up the medical system. And of course, if you come in, you're going to be on the welfare system as well. Number 7, she says, start removing illegal aliens. Hey, why don't you stop deferring law enforcement? Stop the DACA executive order from the previous Department of Homeland Security. That's what President Trump really needs to do. He needs to stop that Obama-era executive order. That is the great error of President Trump, I think. And finally, she doesn't even have this here. If you let the census count people who are here illegally, who are foreign citizens, that's going to give more representation, more political power in Congress and the Electoral College, and more money to sanctuary states. And we're done. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Flawless victory.
The scientists at InfoWars Life have created a powerful formula for inflammatory support and joint support. Discover the power of ancient medicine with Bodies. Bodies contains one of the most potent forms of turmeric available. Turmeric has been used for thousands of years and is one of the most studied herbals today. It is well known in traditional medicine for its soothing properties. Our pure turmeric extract plus piperine from black pepper makes for optimal absorption to help boost and support your flexibility, mobility, joint function, immune system, and so much more. Regular turmeric root from the store only contains 1 to 5% of active ingredients, but our turmeric root extract contains over 95% of the active ingredients. Bodies combines turmeric with organic herbs such as spearmint, sage, lemon balm, and thyme to work synergistically for full body support. Try Bodies today at InfoWarsLife.com or call us at 188-253-3139.